So we're going to make some mortises here. This is the first time you'll be using this machine here. This one is called the multi-router. So what we have here is a router bit right there, held in a regular router. And then what we're going to do is put our wood right here. And I'm going to slide the wood into the bit, and go back and forth, and make our slot. So this machine has these little clamps here, which are controlled by this lever right here, right there. And when you do that, the clamps go. There, let me get a better view on that. I can't see now. There we go. So you don't want to get your finger stuck in there. All right, so we got to adjust this machine. Let's start with the legs. Using the example that I made here, I'm going to use this as a way to make sure my machine is set up correctly. So with that center line that you drew, you're going to line it up with the center mark on the machine. So as I'm standing here, when I refer to the center mark of the machine, I'm referring to this mark right here on the machine. So that's looking at it from top view. The center mark is that line on the machine right there. It's actually scratched into the machine from the factory. So that center mark lines up on the center mark of the machine. Pretty tricky to film this, but I think there's a video about the multi-router on my YouTube channel you can look at to get a better idea. I think somebody else was filming that for me. So what I'm going to do now, again, look at the video from the other multi-router video, but we're going to adjust the let me see if I can flip the camera while I'm recording. Nope. Get you in here tighter. Move this thing out. Oh, that's a relaxing noise. How's that? Can we get in there? Not much. Yeah, I think it's gonna be better if you look at the multi-router video. So I'm gonna lock my clamps down here. And so now I'm nice and secure. And then I'm gonna put my router bit on that line, and I wish you could see this better, but so I'm going to use this knob right here. I'm going to loosen it, and I can wiggle it up and down to get it to where I want it to be. So I'm going to line it up with my line, so the center of the router bit's between my two lines. Lock it down, and again refer to my other multi-router video on how to set this up. I think it'll be of use for you. All right, so I got that all set up. What I'm going to do is do a quick little scratch cut to make sure that I am cutting correctly. So here we go, turn this on. There. I'm okay with it not being quite in that line. Next thing I want to do is make sure that I am I can do better. better. I'll get that stop adjusted so I can get on that line a little bit tighter. Nah, that's fine. So I want to make sure that I don't cut too deep. So there's a stop down here, and that distance between the stop and the aluminum block is how far it'll go. So kind of watch as I'm cutting to make sure that it goes all the way here, and we'll talk about some technique after I'm done. There we go. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees and do it again. So the technique that I was referring to was that you want to do a lot of back and forth like this. You don't want to plunge in and plunge in and plunge in. You kind of want to scoot it back and forth as you're cutting. If you plunge in, it's going to burn the work. Alright, so let's see how we did. We got a little booger right there, but I noticed the machine was a little bit loose, so I tightened it up. So I'll continue on with my legs. I'll continue on with my legs here, getting my center line lined up on that center line of the machine. I'll finish that off camera. Go to the rails next. Same process as the legs. We're going to use our mortise layout here to line up the machine the way we want it. So the only thing we really got to adjust is the height up and down. So to do that, I'm going to lower that bit down until that lines up just with the tighten these clamps a little bit too, so I'm going to loosen that in here. I'm going to loosen this, drop it down a little bit so the clamp bites on harder than it would. And then get my center reline, lock it down with my toggle, and then get my head in here and then line up my center marks, do a scratch cut, make sure it looks okay, and then make my cut. That looks halfway decent. Remember, our X's always have to face up, so when we rotate, we want to rotate this way. We don't want to flip. So always have the X's facing the same direction. Up. Alright, I'll finish that. Finish all these off camera. So we got our mortises on our legs and all of our rails cut on the multi-router, so that's good. Now we can start to assemble these by making the tendons. So I'll show you how to do that next.